So do you know about Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule? Malcolm says that it takes 10,000 hours to become proficient, truly proficient, maybe even world class. Let's say to learn an instrument or speak Japanese fluently or something difficult, it's going to take 10,000 hours. It's obviously just a made-up number, but it made me think about how many hours does it take to become a proficient audiophile. Maybe 10,000 hours. It takes a long time, a lot of listening, and a lot of experience. But I was going to also relate this to burn-in, and I'm using burn-in or break-in as an example of this idea because you have to listen for a long time to really understand a new component. So as you're listening, you're hearing different things. So I'm going to make a leap and say, well, not that it takes 10,000 hours to understand a new component, but this is sort of connected to burn-in. Like, does it take 10,000 hours? Does it take 1,000 hours? Does it take 100 hours to burn in or break in a speaker or a headphone or an amplifier or a cable or a power conditioner? How long does it take to get to the point where everything is settled, let's say? Now, the thing is, of course, when you first hear the new thing, the power conditioner, the cable, the speaker, whatever, you hear the difference. You hear that the new one sounds better or faster or clearer or tighter or something more transparent. You hear the difference compared to the old thing with the power conditioner compared to being plugged into the wall. The new speaker versus the old speaker, the new amp versus the old amp. You hear how much different it sounds, or you don't. But let's just go with the premise that you do hear a significant difference between the old and the new. Well, that's cool. If it doesn't make a difference, well then game over, right? But in terms of this break-in part, now of course the break-in is the thing itself, the speaker, the amp, the power conditioner, and you, because you're breaking in, you're getting used to hearing the new thing. So there's at least two things happening at the same time. There's the product breaking in, and your brain is sort of recalculating around what this new thing, this new speaker, cable, power conditioner sounds like. It's a complex process. It's happening on multiple levels. And that's what makes it so interesting and hard to pin down. But again, going with the premise that it's actually sounding better. You're hearing the difference, you're hearing things you never heard before, and you're saying this new product is better. But I'm here to say maybe you're just hearing that it sounds different, and you're happy. You're happy to hear those differences, and you're accepting that those differences are therefore better, unless they're glaringly bad, or that they don't sound better. Well then, again, it's game over time, right? But let's just go with the premise that it does sound a lot different than what you're used to with the previous thing. You should, of course, at this point, let's say you're 100 hours in, at this point it would make sense to go back to the old thing. I don't believe in doing the quick A/B comparisons early on in your experiences with the new thing. I think you should settle in with the new thing, get used to it, and then 100 hours in, then you go back to the old thing. And that is sort of a moment of truth, right? Because either you will say the new one is better, blah, 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 the new one is worse, blah, 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 or it doesn't really make much of a difference, or it's a difference that doesn't matter, right? Well, if it's better, good. If it's considerably worse, time to bail. If it's just different, I'd say it's time to continue going. In any case, unless it's bad, you should continue to move forward with the new product, unless it's really obviously sucks. But I do believe that the product itself is breaking in. It is, if it's a speaker, the drivers are loosening up. If it's a electronics device, the caps are forming, cable, whatever. They are changing, right? So whether it takes 50 hours, 100 hours, 200 hours, whatever it is, you're both changing. You're changing, your brain is processing, the thing is changing. So there's a lot going on and a lot to take in. So just be aware that that's part of what's going on. Of course, expectations play a role here too, right? Because your expectations that you want this new thing to sound better is plays a role, right? There's placebo effect, as people love to talk about placebo. But in this case, there is a bias that you've gone this far that the thing is actually better. So that's where the going back to the known quantity, the previous speaker, conditioner, for conditioners plugging it back to the wall. I think that really tells a lot of the story right there, because then you kind of know where you're at. And that's going to make the difference, right? That's going to be whether we move forward or we're going to get our money back, and hopefully, and decide what to do from there on, right? Your weeks or months or years or decades of being an audiophile are all part of this story here, right? Because you've had similar experiences with new stuff, and you kind of know how that journey goes, the initial rush, then getting used to the thing, then disappointment or getting used to it. Those are all have to be figured in here. You just have to go in there with your ears open, knowing that that's actually happening. It shouldn't surprise you every time that you initially fall in love deeply with the new things. Like, oh my God, my life has changed. This is the best thing ever in the history of the known universe, right? But then again, maybe it's not. So 10,000 hours, Malcolm Gladwell, I don't know. Let's not worry about 10,000 hours. That could take a very long time to get to your 10,000 hours. But in terms of coming to terms, is this good? Is it not good? Well, it should happen faster than 10,000. Let's stick with 100 or 200 hours on the outside, right? You should know where you stand. And then it's either time to cut your losses and get your money back, or to settle down and enjoy this thing over the long term and stop worrying and thinking about, is this a good thing or a bad thing, and how does it compare? You've already done that hard work. Now it's just time to settle back, listen to this thing, enjoy the music, and that's it, right? That's it. That's what we're here for, right? To play music, to enjoy the music. And the better your system, I think, the more you will enjoy the music. But once you've done the hard work of the deciding part, you're good. You're done. So by now, you guys know who I am, right? I am Steve Guttenberg, and I am the Audiophiliac. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. I may not have mentioned this enough, but you can follow me on Twitter. And there's stuff other than the things that I'm doing on YouTube and the CNET blog. So check out the Twitter at Audiophiliac Man. So if you like these things that I do, hey, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Gives it a thumbs up if you think it's worth it. And also check out, if you've gone this far into the video, check out the Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/audiophiliac. Thank you so much for watching. See you again real soon.